Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to Game 2 of the Starladder Pro Series Season 14 playoffs, best of 3 between Team BK and Danish Bears. Danish Bears took a very successful victory in Game 1, getting Ping Vincic just too big on that Alchemist, but Game 2 looks like Team BK, they're gearing up to go in. First ban Alchemist, they're having none of that. I'm going to be your caster Annie, aka Android, and I am being joined once again by Ted Casts. How you doing, man?
Doing pretty good. BK, they took a bit of a beating last game, but this time around they banned themselves the Alchemist, so they won't have to deal with that coming out. But Danish Barons will take a page out of their book. They grab themselves the Night Stalker, having that on their side of the field. But BK, they grab a pretty strong duo combo with the Doom and the Vengeful Spirit coming out as their primary two picks. Danish Bears, they might have a little bit of trouble dealing with this, though the Night Stalker is relatively good against the Doom with his silence we talked about to death last game. But have to see exactly how Danish Bears are going to operate in total with this. I wouldn't be surprised if they grab themselves the Slardar again this time around.
Yeah, the Slardar could be pretty successful here. The Doom was around to slip through the first phase bans. It's usually taken out here. So what are BK really going to get done with that Doom? What does it offer aside from that one initial target shutdown?
Big bad guy running at you and not dying. I think it's Doom is a funny hero because he can get very aggressive in the early game to a point where if he runs at you there's a very large possibility you're just gonna die. I mean, he's got the damage over time from the Scorched Earth. If it's close enough to get his blade on the Infernal Blade on you, then there's damage over time from that. It's really tough to deal with the amount that the Doom can do. The Doom itself is only a small part of just how much power he has in a team fight. And even if you got the primary Doom off on whichever target he decides is notable enough, he still can be an aggressive damage dealer, right clicker, and tank for the rest of the fight, no matter who his target is. So he's just a very versatile pick, a very powerful early game brawler, and Danish Bears, I'm surprised they grabbed themselves the Bane here. It's a very nice solo target lockdown and could be enough control to stop the Doom from getting aggressive in the early game, but usually this leads you to believe that there's going to be some sort of combo with him, and whether or not Danish Bears, they want to grab the Invoker this game, it could be a decent pick for them. Whatever the case, though, I'd be willing to bet there's going to be some combo that they're looking for with the Bane.
Alright, so notable combos could be something that, immediately follows up. Maybe let's bring the Sven in there so we can set up his Stormhammer a little bit easier. Could go for the Axe again. It is not going to be banned out, although that would be just a lot of big beef melee for the Danish Bears. And Axe with a Doom and a Vengeful Spirit against you is not ideal.
No, it really isn't. You've already got the Night Stalker. The Axe might be a little bit too greedy. If Danish Bears, they want to run the jungle kind of roaming Night Stalker that BK ran in the last game, then they are open to the possibility of still grabbing themselves a hard mid, offlane, and carry. But that leads you to believe that Bane's going to be the solo support, which is not ideal for a Bane, but he can pull it off if need be. I would think that, well, first of all, they're going to have to grab a carry that deals well through the Doom. And you mentioned the Sven. I think that's a very strong possibility. BK, they'll grab the Nature's Prophet, though, which is kind of like Sven's Bane here. It's very tough for Sven to be able to deal with that Sprout, but I still think they could run it to decent effect. I would really like to see them pick up, again, I like ranged carries in this scenario just because they can deal with, one, the Sprout, whoever the target is, they can hit through it, but two, it all offers a little bit of kiting potential to deal with the Doom. Whatever the case, though, Danish Bears have a couple of carries that they are open to, but they could overall, I think maybe we might see a Wind Ranger mid, something like that, something that can be very powerful and aggressive early on and allow them to not lose their lanes.
Well, we will see here. Now, third pick for the Bears. Let's see if they stick with this color scheme, but no. we're going to be going with the Ember Spirit. I like this pick a lot. It's going to make Nature's Prophet split push very minimal. They're always going to have that ability to go in, Boots of Travel in, zone them out with the Sleight of Fist, with the Flame Guard, just walk on through, burn everyone down, but really, really susceptible pick to a Doom here. Curious why you'd pick something so slippery like an Ember into a super long duration silence.
We're probably going to be seeing a Shadow Blade picked up on this Doom at some one point or another. I mean, you hit it right there. The Ember Spirit crumbles against the Doom pick. What ends up happening is early game, it's probably going to be a blink priority, but as the game starts getting into the 40-minute mark, if it does, and the Ember Spirit is known for split pushing around, then we'll probably see that Shadow Blade initiation, because it's an immediate cast from Shadow Blade into dooming the target. So the Ember Spirit, if he doesn't have an inkling of that there's a Doom there, is just going to get brought down by this pick. So Doom, if he focuses all of his time to shutting down the Ember Spirit, I feel like it might be a waste of a pick, but in the end, he is a very good counter to the Ember Spirit as the late game rolls on. Slark, also a very good hero to deal with the Ember as time goes on. Even in the early game, if Ember is going to be your primary farming carry or your one position, the Slark will just outmaneuver you, outplay you, outfarm you, and in the end, probably end the game before this Ember Spirit can really get off the ground.
We will have to see, but again, like you mentioned, BK, they've got a crazy lineup. It will come down to execution. If Ember Spirit just gets rolling so unbelievably quickly and Doom starving, Slark not finding kills, there's the potential for Danish Bears to really go in. They've got great gank potential now. Night Stalker, once it's nighttime, just rotate in the Bane, smoke them up, pop the Nightmare, pop the Fiend's Grip, and, well, everyone on BK could fall victim to that.
Yeah, it's real trouble having to deal with the roaming gaming potential of the Danish Bears. I think that's one of the really big strong points of their lineup, is that they can coordinate kills like that. Even the Slark, if he's not on point with his Dark Pact, then he could very easily get brought down. And Dark Pacting off a Night Stalker or a Puck initiation now is really tough, because you've got to anticipate the Blink Waning Rift, which is, again, another very, very quick succession maneuver that even the best reaction times have trouble dealing with. So there's plenty of silence, plenty of gank. I think early game, first 15 minutes, the Ember Spirit actually is very powerful due to the magic damage he offers in a team fight as well as his mobility. So if the Danish Bears can lock out a strong laning phase, which their lineup does offer them to do, then we could see them get out of control to the point where BK never really gets to that point that they start countering Danish Bears lineup. But it all comes down to whether or not they can do well in their lanes.
I'm just very curious about this Puck pick. You talked about the strength of the Blink In, Waning Rift, yeah, but picking a Puck into a Doom, same line as picking an Ember into a Doom, that hero thrives on being slippery, being hard to get a hold of due to its spells, and if Puck is doomed up right at the start of the fight, dead Fairy Dragon immediately right off the bat.
Puck will never get doomed at the start of the fight. The Puck will always either initiate with the Waning Rift or be far enough away from the Doom. Like, it comes down to positioning for this Puck, but there really should be no scenario in which the Doom can get his Doom off on the Puck. And that's very important. If it does start happening, then something fundamentally wrong is going down with the Danish Bears lineup. And I really like this pick right here. It's not a Sven, but it's almost just as good, if not better, dealing with something like a Slark into the late game, dealing with a Doom. This guy's damage persists no matter how many times you silence him. So if this Doom can, or if this Tiny can come out with a BKB and come out swinging early, then things get very tough. And he's another one of those heroes that, even though he has sort of a weak mid game and then becomes a very, very hard late game carry, his early first 15 minutes is obscenely strong with his burst damage combo. So Danish Bears, don't let it fool you with the Ember Spirit and the Tiny. They've got a very good early game lineup that can break open these lanes if executed correctly.
Alright, so DK picked up to counter the Puck. How's that going to work? Because it seems like Puck can just phase shift off those really long animation skills that DK has.
DK doesn't counter the Puck. He will be in lane against the Puck, but DK is most certainly not a counter to him. I actually don't know if this is going to be a mid Puck. I think it's probably, well, we'll see who ends up picking it up, which player does, but Ember Spirit and Tiny being on the field leads me to believe that that's going to be their mid and their off lane, or mid and their safe lane, and the Puck probably going to be the off laner.
Alright, so we're going to find out who's hopping in here. I'm surprised the Tiny was picked up just because of the lack of babysitting supports. Tiny usually thrives. Although he does have crazy damage, it's usually best for him to have someone that sits in lane with him, has a reliable stun, sets up the kills, and I guess they've got Night Stalker with that Void to get that slow, but you know, you usually see the more taking care of supports. Like the Crystal Maiden does really well with the Tiny. Obviously the Wisp is fantastic. The Dazzle, the Shaman, anyone that can kind of sit there and make sure the Tiny gets exactly what he needs and doesn't get zoned.
Well, you said it yourself in the draft. That's why the Bane's there. The Bane is the perfect setup for an Avalanche Toss combo. So there really isn't going to be that much aggression on the Tiny's lane. If it's an off-lane Nature's Prophet Doom combo, then he's going to skyrocket ahead in experience. If it's just a Doom, then Doom's going to get zoned out by Rise. If it's just a Nature's Prophet, God help Prophet, because he's most likely going to die every single time he gets nightmared. So, for the moment, it's not a weak lane. You don't exactly need a babysitter for the Tiny unless there is a heavy aggressive lane going up against him. The Bane's going to be enough, I feel, and the Puck should have an easy time in the off lane because there's nothing to lock him down for a long enough period of time. If it is going to be a safe lane Slark, yeah, he just illusory orbs away. The magic missile does not last nearly long enough, and the phase shift is an easy dodge for that. And Ace shouldn't have that much trouble in the mid lane, mostly because Ember Spirit is a pretty decent counter to the Dragon Knight, being a melee laner that goes very well against any other melee laner. So I don't worry for Danish Bears lanes at all. I feel like every single one of them should win, considering how much aggression they have. And also, Noya being that ganking Night Stalker, that gives them a huge amount of added power for any engagement they want to take within the laning stage.
Alright, so we're going to wait for everyone to load on in here. Again, in case you guys missed the draft, this is game number 2 of the Starladder Pro Series Season 14 playoffs between Danish Bears and Team BK. Danish Bears have a 1-game advantage so far on the back of Ping Vinsik getting larger than life on an Alchemist in game 1. But BK, they're still alive and they're still fighting. A lot of potential out from this team. They did take a victory in a series yesterday, so we're going to see what they bring to the table here. You were talking about the power of Danish Bears' early game lineup, but BK still do have a lot of gank potential and a lot of kill potential in the first 5-10 minutes of the game as well.
And their kill potential comes at 6 minutes, or not 6 minutes, at level 6. The Vengeful Slark is the only lane that really has a huge amount of solo kill potential, and they're going to be going up against the Puck, which will be impossible for them to get a kill. I think if Shogola ends up giving them a kill, something else went wrong in that lane. It's not... The hero itself doesn't lend himself to being taken down by that combo, and he might struggle for experience because a lot can be said about the Vengeful Spirit's ability to zone him out, but he won't die. It's going to be very tough for that, and that's really the only lane where they can validly get a kill. The Doom isn't going to be able to get a kill until level 6, most likely. The Ember Spirit should have an easy time against the DK because, well, he dodged out most of the magical damage coming through and does a lot himself. Again, I don't really think pre-level 6, Danish Bears have much better lanes. At level 6, it's probably more even with a roaming Doom, but from that point forward, I think really where BK starts getting ahead as far as their power goes is, again, that 15 to 20 minute mark where the magic damage starts mattering less and less, the Slark starts becoming more and more of an issue, and the level 11s even start coming out for heroes like the Dragon Knight and the Slark. So that's where you look to see BK get their power from. And before that, they've got to do their best to make sure that Danish Bears can't effectively use their heroes to the fullest potential.
Alright, so we're just going to be sitting here. Hopefully everyone hops in soon, because we have talked this draft to death. Take a look at effigies here. We've got Alchemist. No surprise, it is going to be Ping Vinsek's effigy. We saw him with that triumphant Alchemist last time, and well, our axe here, going to be Noyes. Over here on the side of the Dire. Oh, we've got a Skywrath Mage effigy. I like you. And that's going to be going the way of Roan, who I believe is going to be on our Vengeful Spirit, just like last game. And Magnus doing some things with his little mammoth feet. Looks like Uhorn has a Storm Spirit effigy. And finally, Wisp by Loki's.
So, how do you feel about the meta so far? Like, we just had a recent patch come out, 6.87C, I think it was. What are your thoughts so far coming in? Have you played any games yet?
I have. I played a lot of Skywrath, in fact, and I think it was pretty strong, honestly. I think I like the spaced outness of it, I guess. You know, last patch felt a little bit too focused around team fights and big team fight spells, and this one feels like, you know, you can get away with more greedy farmers, you can get away with slower paced lanes, and you're not always rushing into 5-on-5s.
Yeah. Pushing high ground. The change to being making high ground pushes a lot more difficult was fantastic for those kind of greedy carries, because there was more chance than not, to turtle it out if you needed to. So I really like that. But, well, it looks like we are going to come out of that pause very, very well timed. That didn't last all that long, I think, but I'm not even going to try to understand. So some pretty common early game maneuvers coming out from BK. They've got Nature's Prophet throwing the Treants into Danish Bear's jungle, scouting things out, making sure that they made the right choice to go for the top lane. They're going to have to deal with Chocolat, the Puck, potentially stealing the rune, and Puck does a half-decent job at it. The Vengeful Spirit isn't there, then he should be able to go in, pop the Illusory Orb out, and steal the rune, but it's going to be a little bit more difficult, especially now considering Roan gets a nice D-ward, waits in fact, for the Puck to drop the Observer before he goes in. A very nice play, and Chocolat, yeah, he can't go for it now that E-Horn's there.
Yeah, so Doom taking a little bit of damage, but runes are going to go for a 1-1 split. Tiny versus DK grab up the runes, so mid-Tiny. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I guess this makes a little bit more sense. The Bane comes in, helps gank, the Tiny gets easy kills whenever it happens. I think the Ember Spirit probably could have done a little bit better against U-Horn in the mid lane, but throwing the Ember safe is more or less guaranteeing him farm. Like, you throw the Ember mid, you run the risk of him being outlast hit by Eurohorn or U-Horn. Here in the safe lane, he has no trouble getting all his CS, and he'll get experience as well as gold, not have to worry a little bit about how this game's going to go, and just casually farm it out right now. Same thing will happen in the top lane here. Chocolat's not going to be able to stop the farm at all. He's just going to trade hits for now, and I mean, he can do so effectively. He's got the Illusory Orb, no phase shift yet, but with that salve, comes right back to full, and we'll put a lot of damage out on Roan in the process.
Alright, so Puck, yeah, I mean, can be completely effectively zoned out. Now, Puck has Fairy Fires for regen, but no more salves, and the fact that Puck is so deep could be very dangerous here. Slark still holding on to his level 1. Could go for the Pounce if they need it, could go for the Dark Pact. In fact, Venge will be getting kind of low. Yeah, Venge could get low here, but man, Puck going through, will take a missile right to the face. Looks like Snedge wants to do something here. Snedge still holding on to his level. Did he level stats or what?
No, I mean, even if he had gotten a
there he goes.
There, he wouldn't have gotten it. Now he gets a loser up in 2 seconds, 1 second. He's got phase shift as well. Noya comes in to try to help out. Snedge now in a little bit of trouble, but they don't have enough mana for a void. Roan is in through the trees. Noya's going to scout him out, but Chocolat used one of the Fairy Fires. Now they'll move in more for Snedge. They've got the loser up. It just barely doesn't catch, but Chocolat, he catches it before the tower gets aggroed, and now Noya can get the void off. Rowan is looking for the magic missile, finally gets it out. It looked like Chocolat ended up popping a little bit too early on the phase shift, as now Spacey will move in. Noya could be in a bit of trouble. Loki's is coming in with the Scorched Earth. May actually get the kill just by tick damage, but nope, Noya makes his move in and will get brought down. Lots of gold being split between all of BK as they lose one, and it's very important that the Slark is the one that they lose, but they will gain much more.
Yeah, the first blood on the Slark is scary. Now, meanwhile, down bottom, Spacey hopping back towards this bottom lane. Ace, no fear on this guy with that Flame Guard going through, burning out these creeps, wait until they lose interest. And now he has cornered himself between a rock and a hard place. We'll see if Spacey can capitalize on this going through. Doesn't want to fight Ace face to face. As Ace, he is a big guy. Even at level 3, he's got over 600 HP. He's got 2 base armor, and Well, he's not that easy to take down. Meanwhile, mid lane, Tiny gets very, very low here. DK, very low mana. No opportunity to go and breathe fire and finish him off, but there is going to be a haste rune on the Doom. This could be very scary, Doom. He's going to go through. Will get tossed underneath the tower into the open jaws of Noya. Taking a couple tower shots there, but great coordination by the Tiny. He was expecting that. Meanwhile, down bottom, looks like they already get the shackles onto Spacey. Spacey will end up falling back to the grave, so it's going to be a 2 for 2, but action coming out all over the board here. Definitely going to be a crazy game.
Yeah, if there was no haste on that Doom would have been dead. So it's very lucky that he had the haste, but I don't think if he had gotten the haste, he wouldn't have ended up being tossed back. They were saving it for U-Horn. They were going to have Ping Vince get aggressive and toss U-Horn back, but you've got to make do with what you got, and it came very close, but they weren't able to get it. Now Chocolat in the top lane, they want to try to bait out the phase shift till they end up eating the magic missile. Surprised he let that one come through. He's got a magic stick at the ready just in case, but he'll play this one very aggressive, not really care about the damage that BK can do because he's confident he'll be able to get away from it. But so far, the lanes aren't going too bad for Danish Bears. Ping Vince will be able to secure that double damage rune. They actually waited for Noya to come in. Now they've got the Void out, and U-Horn in a lot of trouble. They've got the Avalanche ready to go. No toss to follow up. But U-Horn is still very much dead. Tries to Bottle Crow out. Gets a little bit of that bottle charge in, but won't be able to survive through it all. Noya still with a double damage rune. It is nighttime, just crossed. And now Roan could be in a bit of trouble. They popped down the Observer Ward to scout him out, but they weren't able to get any vision. Roan still, he's standing still trying to stack or do whatever he can with the creeps, but he's in a lot of trouble. Noya, he's not going to pop a Void, though. He is just fine to be the scary guy running straight at him. Now Snedge in a bit of trouble. He's got himself out with the Dark Pact. Now the silence ended up being a little bit too early. Snedge, though, the Void into the trees. He'll toss himself through, and he gets away alive. Noya still holding on to his spells for now.
Yeah, I'm very surprised this Puck has been playing as aggressive all up in your face as he is. Barely any uses of this phase shift because he knows it's such a key spell, and the threat of the phase shift rather than the phase shift itself is what's really allowing him to stay in lane.
Oh yeah, I mean, it makes it so every single time Roan wants to hit him with a magic missile, he's got to think long and hard about whether or not he's going to be able to get it off as, yeah, okay, Ace will bring down Spacey again. We talked about this Ember Spirit having a very easy time in this lane, and I know it's not a tiny... Oh, wait, what? No, maybe. Lopez, is he going to get this Shockwave out? Not going to connect. Ping Vince is way far away. Another Void comes out. Avalanche toss combo will connect. They get the kill. Now U-Horn, he's a little bit too far away. He wanted the Dragon Tail, but he cannot find the range for it. Now we'll try to get at least one hit on the tower to make this use worth it, but won't be able to get close enough to drop a right click. Another Avalanche toss combo is at the ready. U-Horn waiting in for the top rune. They will get the Avalanche in enough time to steal the rune. Toss out. Back to the ground. Noya, Void in. They're TPing in space and they want to try to save U-Horn, but they can't do so. Ping Vince just needs one more backhand slap, and they will be able to cancel the Infernal Blade, stopping the cast animation. U-Horn will get away alive, and Danish Bears will lose 2 for the trouble. Oh boy, that was a very nice play coming out from BK. And Lopez being in the right place at the right time to stop this from getting too out of hand. As in the top, a loser out, but Chocolat now is caught in between a rock and a hard place, but in comes Ace with a double catch inside the shackles as he brings down one, brings down a second. Snedge trying to run away, but he's got no way out this time around, and BK will be the ones on the receiving end of losing 2 and the attempt to grab just 1.
I think all the kills this game have come out of some sort of initiation where it gets a little bit too scary, and the hero's saying help, help, and the core comes in, Big Brother saving the day, going through. We see there, okay, toss through, he'll connect onto U-Horn. Ping Vinsec is gonna bottle himself up to the best of his ability, getting out that health and mana, but now Rona's sitting here, waiting to go, has the magic missile, no swap just yet. Another nice toss will get U-Horn very, very low. And it is nighttime, but Night Stalker not opting to come through just yet. Now it looks like he will go through, will ping out. Vengeful Spirit going through with the missile, and the backlands, the Infernal Blade is cast onto the Doom. But now Puck rotating in once again. It looks like they want to find the kill. They go in with the toss, they go in with the Avalanche, they get the kill. Tiny raking in another one, and now Puck very much assertive in this game. Noya sitting there, is holding onto the Void as well. They could try to go onto the Doom, but they're not wanting to commit too deeply for this. They're just content farming up heroes.
Yeah, and this is exactly what we talked about their draft being strong doing. They've got so much magical damage that all they've got to do is rotate around, find where they are getting aggressive, and make use of their aggressive positioning by getting every single spell they possibly can off. And now Ace will move up to the top lane and do his best to try to keep Snej down. And this is exactly where he needs to be right now, because the safe lane is giving solo experience to Ryze, who is looking to grab that Phoenix Grab. Actually has it out right now, as Ace, oh, he might be able to smite the courier. The haste is going to run out pretty soon, but no, it takes enough time that it is safely within the trees. Still, though, plenty of golden experience going across the board for Danish Bears right now. They're playing this one perfectly. They've gotten their aggression. Now they're going to wait for the second nighttime, or at least wait for darkness to come back, and then be aggressive again. They don't even need to wait for that right now, as Ryze, with the first Fiend's Grip, this could be trouble. He's walking into 3 right now.
Doom doesn't have that Doom just yet. It's going to be taking a missile right to the face now. Ryze, he knows where the Venge is. They're going to be going through with the Remnant, holding the Venge in place. She just absolutely gets burned alive. Good lord, that looked painful.
Brain sap. It's a painful spell. Ace will be able to go ahead and get himself right back to Fountain, come back in. Actually, I think Snej is dead. There is a very strong chance he might just go down here. They need to get a good Dark Pact bait, though. They've got to get him within range. Maybe they just pop out for the Fiend's Grip. They get it off, but he gets his Dark Pact. It'll wear out, but they're not going to continue chasing. They may have been able to get Fiend's Grip, but too afraid of the potential rotations coming in. And Snej will be able to walk away alive. He still walks in, though. Another Dark Pact at the ready. Ace will just go ahead and try to burn down some creeps. Ping Vincent, meanwhile, in the mid lane, 50 HP. Meanwhile, Uhorn is pretty low himself, but with an adequate enough HP to stay and farm the lane, but he'll go back to base as well. So a lot of aggression, no kills just yet. But now Locus, he wants to change that. He's out with Roan, looking for kills in all the wrong places. Ryze comes around, he's got a Fiend's Grip, but he's not going to cast it just yet. Locus is going to chase him down. There we go, Nightmare out, waiting for his buddy Ace to come in. Has the Fiend's Grip at the ready, but they don't want to use it just yet. They know the Magic Missile's ready to cancel it out. Ace comes in. They're looking. They found Roan. They're chasing him down up into the high ground. He'll pop the Magic Missile, but now Ryze is getting within range. He's almost got it. Just needs a little bit more, but he can't quite get it. There we go. Not even going to spend it now. Just a Brain Sap for good measure. Holding onto the grip for whoever might follow up, but no one will come in. They're all too afraid. And BK will lose one more.
That is going to be really good for Danish Bears. They're feeling solid there. They got a solid chunk of XP. They got a decent bit of gold going the way of their cores. And, I mean, the kill score is starting to tell the tale here at 10 minutes in, looking at overall net worth. Ember Spirit way up at the top in terms of overall net worth. It's going to be about a 5,000 lead for the Danish Bears.
Yep, and we notice the Ember Spirit, with all that extra gold, is now using it to get himself boots of travel. He's going to go down in the top lane. I mean, when you get doomed like this, there's really nothing you can do. Maybe try and turn around to fight, but yeah, he's gone. A little bit too aggressive. Let's going to talk about the Boots of Travel being a really good tool for him to find kills, but also prevent himself from dying, because you can bootstrap back to base. But hold on, top lane, Avalanche toss. Nej gets demolished by the rocks. And now Locus, they've got a Fiend script, and this is going to be another kill. Chocolat right there. Toss and dead. Payne Vince will grab himself a double kill in the top lane. And that's the power of the Fiend's Grip right there.
Yeah, they're going through. They lost the Emperor, which is super, super important, but getting down the Slark, getting down the Doom, that's going to be fantastic here. And Doom did cast the first use of his Doom to get the Ember Spirit, so that's going to be a decently long duration cooldown. Still about 70 seconds left on that.
Yeah, and that's the trouble. I mean, it's a great way to use Doom. I think they're not worried about that cooldown at all. But that's the trouble with having an Ember Spirit. We talked about the Doom being a hard counter to that. Like, anytime Ace is alone, he's got to be very wary of wherever the Doom is. And lucky enough, Locus has no way of catching him out of the blue for that Doom, so he at least has a chance to see him coming. But in a decent amount of time, that will change whenever he gets his Blink Dagger or whatnot to find that initiation. And Ace has to play this one a lot more careful as he goes in for Uhorn. There is going to be the Dragon Tail. Ace being locked under tower, taking a bunch of tower hits here. A very unfortunate position for him to be in. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Snej will move in. Spacey, they've actually got the Nightmare onto Snej. Turn around the Magic Missile on Ryze. Snej will catch him out with the lasso. And the Shadow Dance will secure the kill. The Waning Rift keeping Snej very low, though. Ace goes in. Will pop in with the Activate Fire Remnant. Now Snej going to drop very low. Will drop to the Sleight of Fist. As BK, they lose 3. They only get the Bane in the meantime. A very nice fight for Danish Bears to take.
That was a beautiful fight again. Slark going down for the 4th time this game. We've talked before about how snowbally of a hero Slark is. He really needs to get a solid lane start. He needs to get those heroes going in, getting those hero kills early, but he is having a struggle here sitting at, an Aquila and Treads and a poor man's shield. That's nice, but he's nowhere near his first real item. 4 deaths are starting to really add up. His time out of lane is significant, and, well, the Ember Spirit, he's almost got his Battle Fury on top of the Boots of Travel. Oh,
yeah,
Rise.
Rise. He tries to get himself out with a Nightmare. They're going to have Roan come in. Does he have a swap at the ready? It looks like no, he's not even level 6. Rise is still alive. Will now turn around and move in, but Snedge is down. And Rise, well, that was a little bit ballsy. And he pays for it spectacularly. As now a Doom out on Ace. A wasted Doom, if I say so myself, because, well, there's no way they can follow up on this one. At the very least, it prevents Ace from moving in and being aggressive. But all 5 of BK are there, so I almost think maybe they should have baited it out a little bit, but the Doom will wear. Now Ace is in an adequate position to defend. They pop the Elder Dragon form to try to bring down this tower quickly, and it looks like Danish Bears, they've got enough time to respond. It's not dropping yet, but they won't end up trying to defend it. The tier 1 will go down without too much trouble.
Now Snedge, he's pretty deep here for a hero with maybe some...
Oh, the NA special. Ace will Ripple Remnant in, and they bring down 1 off the back of the burst. They actually get down U-Horn as well. All this burst damage coming through. Now Rise, waiting for the proper Fiend's Grip, will pop it out onto Lopez. The toss in. They're both caught. The Illusorum coming through will catch down onto Lopez, and Spacey getting demolished by the rest.
God, that looks
Danish
like it really
Bears.
hurt.
Oh boy, that's the magical damage. We haven't quite hit the threshold. I don't think we will hit the threshold where it stops being effective anytime soon, because BK are just dropping so damn fast and so damn often. The Shadow Dance will try to bring Noya down. They get him with the lasso. They've also got the magic missile. Noya should be dead here. Gets the silence onto Roan. Actually, Ace comes in with the Boots of Travel. Roan goes down. Snedge also could be dropping, but Ace will lose, actually won't lose his Flame Guard for now. We'll just walk away. The blink in. Ping Vince goes in. Avalanche toss, not comboed, but still doing a respectable amount of damage as Spacey will move in to try to help out. The Sprout onto Ping Vince as Ace comes in. Might have to get himself out of there relatively soon. Snedge goes down to Bane. Meanwhile, Rise getting him down with just the skin of his teeth. Spacey will get Ping Vince in the meantime. A very nice kill for them to have. But Ace, near full mana, goes in for Spacey, and he tries to TP away, but won't be able to get it off. Now Lopez in a lot of trouble with a Brain Sap. The Doom onto Ace, but it's not going to be nearly enough to find a kill. And BK, they're just dropping so quick. Ace may be in trouble. No, he'll survive through this one. They're trying to bring him down with a Treants, but it's not going to be nearly enough. He can TP out, come right back in with full HP, full mana, and they can fight very soon.
Everything is going Danish Bears' way. They lost the Tiny, but they got pretty much everything they wanted in return for that. Now, they are going to go through. They start things off with the Nightmare onto the Vengeful Spirit. They're going to go with the Nighttime. And okay, they're just going straight through with the Fiend's Grip. He's got that mana, courtesy of the Magic Wand. And now, with one final Zip Zap in from the Puck, they are going to secure a killing spree on the Fairy Dragon. The kills are 24-8, tripling up the kills. Is Danish Bears now top lane? There is going to be that Avalanche Toss combo, just finishing Slark off from full health to no health. Ping Vincic once again is larger than life.
Yep, and it looks like he's going Echo Saber too.
Oh, good. That'll hurt twice as hard.
Yep, Spacey in trouble in his own jungle, but Noya will walk away from this one. U-Horn now going to chase him down, but Noya's a bit too quick. They've got the darkness, but it's going to wear out very soon. I don't remember if it's nighttime or daytime, but they finally catch the Dragon Tail. Darkness wearing out. It looks like it's not even going to matter. No, maybe it does. Spacey in a bit of trouble, needs one more punch, but they end up swapping him out. The Urn taking away. He's just barely survives 18 HP. Oh man, Shoggoth looked like he wanted to try to come in and help out, but he's in the midst of some trees right now. Still waiting and watching, ever vigilant, as Tiny finally picking up that Echo Saber. Now whenever he gets that combo off, he gets 2 auto attacks instead of 1. It looks like the first hero to suffer from it is going to be Lopez, and just immediately demolished. They also had Puck in there just for added measure, but this is bad. Still very nearly tripling up the kills. Danish Bears have gotten every single lead they could hope for from this early game, from net worth being over 10,000 to experience being just about in that ballpark. As Ping Vince going in for another one. Roan, yeah, there it is. Doesn't even get the full combo off, but still, that double right click bursting for more than the Avalanche or the Toss does individually.
Yeah, and Tiny is just hitting like an absolute beast. 213 just base hits now, and oh my god, he is... dare I not say unstoppable, because he has been killed. He's been killed twice, but at this point, everyone on the Dire has such, or on the Radiant rather, has such great mobility. You've got Tiny able to blink in. You've got Ember Spirit zip zapping every which way. Now Snedge will be able to TP out here. Not going to get caught out by Rise, but Rise lived through an onslaught of damage from the Slark, and he's still fighting fit. Wrath of Nature is not enough to do it. Meanwhile, down bottom, Ace is going to get doomed up. They've got something against this guy. He's going to get blocked in by Treants. He will be the consolation prize thus far. They might actually get the puck as well. Going to be trying to jaunt to that illusory orb. Will be burning down. Does end up falling to the Doom. That's going to be a nice use of the Doom and his full combo there. But I don't know if it's enough to get BK back into the game.
It is. We've crossed the threshold now. Danish Bears cannot rely on their magical burst any longer. They know that BK are going to start grouping up. They've got plenty of teamfight potential. Now Ping Vince going to get caught out here. They got the vision on him. He can't blink away. He's going to go for the Avalanche Toss combo, and it will be enough to kill. But Rowan is the only one going down here. Ping Vince in a lot of trouble walking away from this one, but the Breathe Fire will knock him down. Now Rise in a bit of trouble. They've got the Glimmer Cape trying to make him walk away. They end up pinging out the trees thinking he goes south, but he instead goes north. And now trying to run. Actually will intercept the Courier here. But if he stops to take it out, then he will be dead. They're trying to bait it here. They're keeping vision on him. They know that he can't stop to fight it. Now we'll pop into another Glimmer Cape, jukes it out, runs south, and this is the jukes of a century. But they get vision of him with the Sprout. Lopez, they've got the Nightmare, preventing Lopez from continuing to chase, but Snedge is still there with the Shadow Blade Rise. He's going to get caught here, and finally, they get him. No, maybe Chocolat's going to be enough to save him. Nope, there it is not enough at all. Snedge will get the kill. And BK, this 5-man is going to start working out to their favor. We've already seen a couple of valuable kills go their way. Roan might fall victim to another onslaught of damage, but Uhorn comes in just in time to save his life. A loser up through. Chocolat will get that kill with a Waning Rift. Now Noya running to the north. They've got the oh wow, the Dream Coil catching 2 here. Though Spacey's got a Shadow Blade of his own, keeping him well out of Vision's range. Chocolat now popping into the Illusion Orb, the blink forward, but the Yule Scepter. Ping Vince can't get the Avalanche Toss combo, but they still get the burst damage to bring him down. Now Snedge looking for the kill. He's silenced up outside of his Shadow Blade. Will go in for the Dark Pack, the Doom out onto Ace. They're trying to keep him alive here, but Lowkid's going to continue chasing Snedge. He doesn't have any more mana, so he can only attack, which may very well not be enough. Ace should survive through this Doom, still fighting. But Lopez, he's moving in. He wants this. They've got the shackles. He pops into the Sleight of Fish just to evade the damage coming out from the Blade Mail. Spacey will get the final right click to secure the kill onto Ace as he gets nightmared off. Ping Vince comes in for the Avalanche Toss combo, catches 2, and they both get bursted by Chocolat with the Illusory Orb Waning Rift combo. And BK, okay, maybe the magic damage isn't quite yet out of effective range for Danish Bears, but still, they're able to coordinate one hell of a fight, and even though it isn't quite as powerful as it was a couple minutes ago, it's still enough to net them a couple of kills.
That was certainly something to watch. It was like bodies just kept getting poured onto the fire as, BK, they desperately wanted to get something out of it, and they did get the Ember after dropping a Doom on him, after sending a bunch of heroes after him, so it's a nice consolation prize. But BK, they seem to just be taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back, and well, Snedge, he's got a Shadow Blade, he's had that for a little bit now 1,500 gold at his disposal, but he's just not getting big enough fast enough. Now Ping Vincic will be scouting out the entire rotation from the Dire Heroes. He's Invis ruined up. He is so tempted right now, man. This guy is frothing at the mouth, waiting to jump, but nice restraint exercised. He will be able to catch out Uhorn all by himself. Is going to be going through. Does he have enough damage with the Dragon's Blood at max level, though? That's going to make him so tanky. Meanwhile, mid lane, Night Stalker has revealed himself, making him a decent target. Oh, Ping Vincic, he wants this so bad. He's going to be going through. There's the toss. There's the Echo Saber. But he does immediately get turned. Dragon-tailed up. He's going to get stunned in place. Illusion Rubber comes through from the Puck. Waiting Rift. Connecting onto 2. Looks like they will be able to get the kill on Tiny. Now Puck is going to be next on the menu. Hopping back to the Illusion Orb. Will keep her safe for now. U-Horn getting very, very low. But, going to be living.
And Chocolat will live through this one as well. Ping Vince, I don't know what he expected. You said it yourself. There's a little bit too much tank on the Dragon Knight to end up going down to that one. All he had to do was pop an armlet in the middle of it, and he had no chance of going down. If it had been a Shadow Blade initiation, maybe it would have been enough because the damage from the right click is buffed by a hell of a lot, but yeah, I don't think there was any way in hell they were getting that kill. And now they give up the Roshan, which is very troublesome for Danish Bears. I mean, they put that Roshan on someone like U-Horn, then things get very bad, and they will trade the Roche for a Tier 2 tower, but now both teams are going to meet face to face. Noya and Rise leading out the board. Looks like we have a little bit of a phallus on the map as they want to make things happen. It turns into a smiley face, so catching all their bases. Ace, he senses trouble and he'll back away, but Rise is going to be in a bit of trouble here. Glimmer Cape out. Will walk to the north, walk to the south. It's the electric slide, but it will end in his death. Maybe not the Nightmare. Onto Roan. Snedge, he's going around the bend looking for more here. The Nightmare goes out onto Lopez as in comes Chocolat. And with a raining rip, but only 2 end up getting silenced. It takes off of Snedge, and now Ping Vince goes in for the Avalanche toss, gets 2 with it, but the Doom gets spent on the Ping Vince, which means Ace, he's got carte blanche to keep fighting. He pops out with the shackles onto U-Horn, onto Lopez. In comes Chocolat, more damage out the Waning Rift, almost bringing Lopez down. Ace, he wants that. The Slate of Fist will come through. They get the shackles off. And that will be enough as Ping Vince, Avalanche toss onto Snedge. The last right click, courtesy of Ace, with another Slate of Fist through. And Danish Bears, the only one they don't lose is the one holding the Aegis, U-Horn, the Highlander. But unfortunately, it's not like he can do anything for this fight as they'll lose another Tier 2.
That was just about a 5,000 XP swing, a big chunk of gold as well, about 2k. So net worth really starting to accelerate in favor of the Danish Bears. Net worth, similar story, holding tight at about 10,000. So there's going to be big items that are there for the Danish Bears that just aren't for BK. And, you know, in that last fight, you really can't afford to keep losing the Slark. 7 deaths is just too much. Now it looks like the Courier Snipe will be successful. That's going to be a big round of goodies that will not make it to the destination. Now Spacey will pay for that with his life. Arguably worth it, I guess. It's setting back the item progress for Danish Bears a little bit, but...
Yeah, that's Chocolat's Lincoln Sphere.
And, oh, sad face.
Yeah, they're not happy about it.
I think that was, boobs.
Okay, Ping Vince, calm down. Calm down.
He has no chill, man.
They'll move in for more. They are without Roan. They find Snedge. There's a valuable sentry ward up on the high ground. Noya, he's tanking through everything. Now Chocolat moves in. There's no Dark Pack for this silence anymore. Snedge in a lot of trouble here. They get him down. In comes Chocolat. More damage out. The Fiend's Grip onto U-Horn. He's down. Loki's gone. They bring down Ping Vince, but now U-Horn is left without a lifeline, without anyone to call and save him. Chocolat will evade out some of the damage as U-Horn just getting chased down by Ace. Loser will take him through, and finally the Searing Chains will lock him down. Another kill, another spot of gold. Now Spacey. Okay, BK, they tap. They're done. They say no more. They can't take it anymore. Oh, and I can't say I blame them. 43-18 at 26 minutes. And Danish Bears, they'll continue their huge amount of aggression and dominance from the game 1 into the game 2. And that will be it for their series today.
Yeah, I think they just tapped out because they were really putting a lot of edge onto that Slark, hoping he would be able to carry into the late game. But at 26 minutes, with no signs of Slark really coming online, you just gotta say, you know what, Danish Bears, you outplayed us. You did a fantastic job here. Great playing. Huge shout out to Ping Vincic, who is just so much of a monster in that mid lane. Those big beefy carries definitely doing well underneath his control. So again, this is going to be Danish Bears taking a 2-0 victory in the playoffs of the Starladder Pro Series Season 14. They will continue on. We're going to be seeing more of them here in this series a little bit later on. So thank you everyone for watching. I have been your caster, Annie, aka Android. If you enjoyed the cast, please feel free to follow me on Twitter. I'll always tweet before I go live. And Ted, my lovely co-caster, where can everyone find you?
they can go ahead, hop on over to that little site called Twitter, top in at TedCast in the search bar, and follow me there.
All right. Again, thank you everyone for tuning in today. We will be bringing you more Star Letter action in a little while, but until next time, I hope you guys have an awesome day. See y'all soon.